What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of the evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake. After your Tampa Bay Buccaneers move to 8-9, they take care of the Carolina Panthers 16-14. So how do we start off this show? We'll keep it down a little bit. We're in the red corner here because we weren't going to take the chance to get the equipment wet. Three things. You know them, you love them, you got to have them. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Phone lines are open. Bucs fans, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Of course, I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And, of course, for fans of the Sports Web and the Tampa Bay sports fan, it is your time, as we'll be joined by the great JP Peterson here in just a little bit. Well, we'll get out to the comments. The Bucs are still alive. I get it. It's not necessarily where you want to be with this team. All the adversity, the losing streak after the bye week, but you get a big-time divisional win over the Panthers. This was important. You put yourself in that position to win the NFC South. Now you need help from the New Orleans Saints, and it's crazy to say this. It's crazy that all the Bucs fans tomorrow in the Bay Area are going to be New Orleans Saints fans, because if the Saints take care of business over the Atlanta Falcons, you won your fifth consecutive NFC South title. So we'll take your phone calls as always, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. We are live here on Instagram Live. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn Live. So I'll try to be as professional as possible because I know there's a lot of professionals out there watching this show right now. But you go back to the numbers with this Bucs team, a gritty, not pretty win, but a win is a win. Baker Mayfield for the day, 16 for 22, 203, one touchdown, one interception, sack 2 times. And listen, this offense has definitely had their struggles, but it was impressive to see them on that first drive come out, get a long drive, get a touchdown, which set the tone. Again, was it the prettiest? No, it wasn't. Are there things that we can talk about when it comes to coaching decisions? Can we talk about, some questionable calls? We can always talk about that on this show, on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. So I'll tell you what, let's go out to the texting line at this point because that's what we do here. I'm going to read some of these comments, and some of them I'm not necessarily going to read because I think some of you guys are just trolling me at this point. Is Evan Klonsky in the background there. Hey, you want to come on here real quick?
I have to hammer out stuff for this.
All right, my friend. He's doing big things right there for WTSP Channel 10. Maybe we'll get him on in the future, talk to him. Got an opportunity to talk to the great Gene Deckerhoff. We'll have that interview up in just a little bit. Some great questions. And here he is right here. I listened to, yes, we're live.
Oh, we're live.
You're live? Yeah, we're live, buddy. And it's okay because you know what?
Can I go to the bathroom? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, yeah, I did that before. So, and listen, there were some times in this game where it was almost like, what is this Bucs team doing? Especially at the before the half there, where very questionable play calling. You talk to Todd Bowles, you talk to Baker Mayfield, you talk to the great Levante David, which by the way tied Derek Brooks all time.
How freaky is that?
I mean, it's just
1,556 tackles off the top of my head. Is that right?
And I think you're right about that. And also, by the way, according to
and they're tied.
They're tied.
I
mean, and that's honestly that's the way it should be. And listen, do we get the sense that this is the last time you're going to see Levante David in a Buccaneer uniform?
Yes.
Okay.
And watching that press conference, I would say this was his last time. Just his body language. He lingered on the field. He was the last one in.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, you never know. You never know what the future holds, but I would, if I were a betting man, I'd say, yeah. And, I kind of said this on the show this week is he kind of reminds me of Rondé Barber in his Hall of Fame credentials. His numbers, without question, stack up with Urlacher.
Well, right here. I mean, this is from
Ray
Tampa Bay
Lewis.
Buccaneer.com. Levante David, an elite company, joining Hall of Famers Ray Lewis and Brian Urlacher as the only player since 1982 1982 with 40 sacks and 35 takeaways. And once again, it always comes down to what, JP? It comes down to veterans making plays. We talked about it. Where's the leadership in the locker room? Levante David is a leader. Why? Because he gets a big-time turnover that stalls the drive out that gives that Buccaneer offense the opportunity. Huge play. And he's done that throughout his career. Yeah. So anybody saying he's not a Hall of Famer at the end of the day, you're either a lunatic or you haven't watched enough Tampa Bay Buccaneer football when it comes down to it, because he's the man on the spot once again, JP.
Well, the national narrative will be Levante who?
Right.
And that's so disrespectful. But
right.
It is, he toiled in anonymity for so long in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Because they were losing, even though he was putting up ridiculous numbers, but in losing causes. And these are not just empty tackles. There's a lot of guys that have empty tackles. Devin White. You did. You said it loud. You said it. I heard it. But these are not. I mean, his entire career has been about making plays. And when that stat with Ray Lewis, and then I think he leads all linebackers in caused fumbles and fumble recoveries, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right.
It was like with Rondé, when you started looking through his numbers, nobody did what he did. Nobody, as he said at his Hall of Fame speech, he was different. He was a nickel. He was an outside. He was everywhere. He was a playmaker.
Yes.
And that's what Levante was a playmaker, making big play after big play after big play. So, and he did it again today. I thought the defense played tremendously well today.
I did too.
And it was like night and day.
Yes.
Watching that team fly around today, physically, energy-wise. Most of the time they were in the right spots.
Most of the time. Still gave up a big play to McMillan. A lot of people want to talk about that. I get that.
Awful.
Todd Bowles talked about it. It was on Parrish.
Yep, he just bit on the fake.
But he's a rookie. He also had an interception today. Once again, looking like Brian Kelly in that 25 uniform. Yep. And then furthermore, he talked about one big guy that a player that we said, could he make an impact? And they've been missing this on their defensive line, and that was Kalijah Kancey.
Yeah.
Kalijah Kancey with the energy.
I asked Bowles about the energy and the physicality, and he said Kalijah's energy this week in practice was a difference maker.
Right.
And I asked Kalijah about it. He said, I just wanted to, remind them of what the standard was and the hustle, and they had a lot of – he just brought energy to the – defense this week. Whatever it was, it made a difference. It made a huge difference. Having him in the lineup makes a huge difference anyway. Carolina had 19 yards rushing. 19 yards rushing.
19.
Yeah. And they had I won't say there was a lot of pressure on Bryce Young today, but they had their moments. I like the way Bowles turned up the pressure in key situations. Yeah, they got burned on the late Tet McMillan. But I like them bringing pressure on the third down right before that. I think in general it worked out. It did. Again, special teams, block field goals. I mean, my Lord,
fourth one of the year. I
think McLaughlin may have hit that a little low, but there was also penetration. So, on it, I thought the defense played really well today, much better than they have been playing. And offensively, you did what you had to do. The first drive was fantastic. They go right down the field, but they've done that before.
Cade Otton, by the way, first touchdown catch, which is amazing in itself because he's been a part of so many big plays, so many big catches. But his first touchdown, they get him involved. And even Baker talked about this in the press conference, how he's been open. He just hasn't been able to look for him and find him. He's trying to force the ball. But once again, you talk about it, that first drive, that was a tone setter.
They go to him there, and then maybe the biggest play of the game, third and 4 late, they go to the bootleg. And I asked Baker about that, and he said, "Yes, you got a bunch of options there. I can run for it. I can throw the ball away if I have to, or just take a small sack to keep the clock running. Not throw the ball away, but keep the clock running.
Sure.
Or there's a couple options on there. And Otton kind of came underneath. He was on the left side. They bootleg right. He comes underneath, very much like the Panthers touchdown to Tremble, almost the same exact play. And, boy, you saw Otton catch that ball. He cradled that thing with 2 hands. He wasn't going to put his hands out. He was just going to cradle that thing like a baby.
Yes.
And then he cradled it as he got hit. So big play right there. And I thought the running game, 140 yards on the ground in a sloppy day. Per rush, Bucky had 3.4, not his best, but he kept sticking his nose in there. I thought Rachaad White had some nice runs. They were just I thought the offensive line had perhaps their best game of this last stretch. I've been ripping the offensive line. I think rightfully so. I thought they played much better today. I know when we look at the all-22, we're going to see a much better performance from this offensive line. I don't remember a whole lot of it was a little bit of pressure on Baker, but in the run game, I thought they did pretty well.
I think sometimes, too, we're on with JP Peterson here of the JP Peterson Show. It's the Sports Web Live here from the Red Corner after your Tampa Bay Buccaneers take care of business over the Carolina Panthers 16-14 here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television to stay alive. Of course, that's what you had to do today, and now every Bucs fan is going to be a Saints fan. But I think Baker Mayfield sometimes has a tendency, and he's done this lately, whether it's out of the bye week, whether it's injury, whatever else, he kind of runs into pressure sometimes. You've noticed that. Happy Feet runs into it. I think, again, though, the tone was set when he decides to, and a lot of people go, why is he putting his shoulder down? Because that's Baker Mayfield. He's a gamer.
Well, he told me in the post-game press conference it's something that he likes to do, and Bowles mentioned it too.
Right.
That was on purpose.
Of course.
He wants to run into, especially his buddy Mike Jackson, as he said. He wants to run into him, and he got the taunting penalty out of it too. He wants to bait him.
Right.
And that's exactly what he did.
Yes.
And because it gets his team going, it gets a penalty on the other side. You know who guys you can bait, and he baited him into it. So
he
good
did.
for him. So listen, Baker, I know a lot of people have been on him, and he threw a terrible interception. I asked him about that, and it was more of a structural interception. There was supposed to be on the coming back to the left side, different coverage than he was expecting.
Right.
That linebacker broke his own rule and went into that. He wasn't supposed to be there. They've been baiting Baker into interceptions like that for the last few weeks.
Correct.
You guys, they show you something on film, a normal coverage, and then they kind of go away from it and go to his tendency of what he likes to do. Baker's a smart quarterback. He knows where to go with the football, but you can use that against him.
Sure.
Because every time, like they did last week when the safety flipped his hips, he knew exactly what Baker was going to do and got the pick.
Right.
So it's a chess match, and you got to anticipate sometimes 3 or 4 moves ahead, and he got beat on that one. That was a bad pick.
It was a bad pick, and it gives the Carolina Panthers momentum, and it's one of the things that a lot of Bucs fans have been groaning about, and it's kind of cost them some money at this point. I mean, you look at it, whether it's injury, whether it's decision making, whether it's old Baker Mayfield, but at the end of the day, that's the gift and the curse with Mayfield. He's going to throw some interceptions. He's going to make some decisions that leave you scratching your head, but he's also going to be able to make some fantastic plays. He's going to be able to convert third downs when you need that. And he's going to be able to put his shoulder down and draw that penalty, which was huge. So,
going.
Gets the energy.
It might be a little bit of a blessing in disguise, the fact that he had a bad second half because he was on his way to MVP. Right. And that would have ensured a new contract.
Right.
at an elevated level. You really don't face that in this offseason. I think it's more of I'll take my $33 million, and if things go well, we'll work on an extension at the end of the year. They may extend him. I don't know what that situation is going to be like. But even if they do, I don't think Baker's going to be that guy that says I want $50-60 million a year.
Right.
He's not that guy. And this kind of assures that.
Right.
He's not. I don't think the second half of the season warrants an extension at that rate.
Right.
So. But that's another discussion for another time. I don't think the Bucs are going to have to enter into that, quite frankly.
They may not have to enter into that, and getting reports of coming out and open phone lines. We'll open up the phone lines for you. We'll open up the Kraken because we like to set the table so you can come and eat. 727-255-0391 at 727-255-0391. We'll also go out to the comments here. Already got a YouTube super chat from Dave, Sun Devil Dave. And that is for $50. Wow, $50. Yes, I know it's a little bit loud. Yes. All right, let's go out to your favorite caller. Should we go out to this guy? Will he have something?
Basement?
Yeah, it is Bucs Basement. Yes.
Let's see him being negative on this.
All right, Bucs Basement. Welcome to the Evolution in collaboration with the JP Peterson Show
here. I
here.
have faith in you, Bucs Basement.
Go ahead, my friend.
Hey, JP, stop calling me Mr. Negative because you've kind of adopted the negative stuff. I've been listening to you, and you're kind of
I agree. I've been agreeing with you a lot. I've been agreeing with you a lot. Yes,
so,
this is true.
Anyways, look, if this is the end of the season for the Bucs, because I don't think the Saints are winning tomorrow. Levante went out with a dub. Gene got to call a dub game. Mike went out with a dub. So that alone makes me happy. However, my God, I honestly think we have a bottom 5 coaching staff in the NFL. Like, this is a terrible coaching staff all over the board. And I'm just like, special teams almost cost us the game again. Todd Bowles' conservative conservative BS, cowardice almost cost us the game again.
Almost.
A better offense wins this game 17-16 against us because Todd Bowles is a chicken bleep head coach. Like, I'm sorry. I'm just like, I feel like I'm in Looneyville. I don't want to watch this team
today
in the playoffs.
I think today he had a little bit of an excuse with the rain.
Yeah,
I think a conservative game plan may have been the best choice today. But yeah, to your point, I get it. Yeah.
It's like, do you want to watch? Are y'all masochists? Do you want to watch this team in the playoffs face the Rams or the 49ers?
No. Well, I do.
I think that's going to be a massacre.
I want another game.
Well, listen. I would rather have them in playoff contention, and I get it.
A lot of Rams are playing on the road.
Right now. The Rams are not playing well either. Everybody wants their defensive coordinator, everyone wants their offensive coordinator. They're struggling right now. Welcome to the National Football League, where it's a week-by-week league. So to answer your question, I get it. A lot of you not satisfied with going to the playoffs or winning an NFC South title. You rather talk about the draft. You rather, talk about the next coach you're going to fire and hire again and again. But I would rather take this. Now, are there some deficiencies? Are there some problems with this team? Absolutely. And let me go out to you, JP Bucs Basement. Appreciate the call. As always, open phone line 727-255-0391. What do you make of these recent reports from Fowler and Rappaport and Schefter saying that, Todd Bowles and this staff could be safe, although there was a report today put out there that there could be changes to this coaching staff, especially a Josh Grizzard, first-year offensive coordinator for this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team.
Well, I think we got to let it all play out. It seems very odd to me that a coach in this particular situation where the entire fan base is pretty much turned on him. And I think, the results speak for themselves. We don't have to rehash all that. I think it's interesting in a situation like that it's almost like the Glazers are going out of their way to tell everybody that Todd Bowles is safe.
Right.
Which to me kind of feels like a Glazer end run. Almost like, let's take everybody off the trail. And maybe they're working behind the scenes on a candidate that they've identified, and maybe their seasons aren't over.
Correct.
Whether it be college football or professional football.
Are you talking about the coach there in Georgia and Kirby Smart, possibly, sir?
His name has been thrown and bantied about. And
I know what you're talking about.
College football coaches are trying to run away from that ridiculous chaos that they're involved in right now.
Right.
So yeah, they all want out of college football, and I don't know if Kirby does. I don't want to speak for him, but there's some smoke around that. The futures of John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin have been mentioned as well. So I think it just seems a little odd to me that you can have a fan base that's in full revolt.
Yes.
And will not stand for another year of this, quite frankly. Not that the fans know everything, but I've never seen it this toxic.
Yeah.
Like even with Shiano and some others, it's pretty damn toxic. Yeah. This win gives a little bit of a respite for that. But if they don't get in, the Saints don't win tomorrow, that talk is all going to come back.
Right.
And rightfully so. Rightfully so.
And Todd Bowles even talked about this in the press conference, saying, listen, we had an opportunity to take care of our business. This is what it is. And they did. They had an opportunity to beat the Saints. You don't. In the rain, whether it's rain or not. Saints still had to play in the rain. You had an opportunity
lose to the Falcons, 28-14 with 10 minutes left.
Yes.
The season on the line, and we could talk about the comedy of errors that produced that.
Yep.
You go down and you lose to the Dolphins in a must-win situation, even losing at Carolina. All these losses to the Saints, to all these bad teams.
Yes,
and there's no excuse for that with the talent that's on this team that showed today. When they want to play hard. This defense played hard today.
Yes, they did.
They played fast, and they played. And why haven't we seen that for the past 8 weeks?
Kalijah Cansey.
Yeah.
It's
not just Kalijah.
It's not just Kalijah, but it's a big part of it. Yeah. And even Bowles again mentioned it. The energy level was brought. Energy level was in practice this week, and on that defensive line.
Let's question where's it been?
Right. Right. All right. Let's go out to the phone lines here. What's your name? Where you're calling from? You're on the Evolution.
This is Rich.
What's going on, Rich?
Nothing. Just a little sick of some of these local jokos complaining about Baker Mayfield. I mean, the guy's had 3 straight years on the Bucs with the quarterback rating well over 90.
Yeah.
Only Tom Brady in the whole history of the franchise has done that. He actually, if you Google it, has the highest quarterback rating in the history of the NFL in the playoffs. So give the guy a break. He'll probably make $45-50 million. and you'll probably have a new OC. But I think he's done a great job considering all the circumstances.
I agree.
Yeah,
100%.
and I think what you're going to
100%.
find out the offseason is that okay, well, thank you very much for that. That was an expedient call, but
That's how you do it, by the way.
Yeah.
Make your point
Yes.
emphatically.
Yes.
Be smart.
Yes.
Be right.
Yes.
And then get out.
Right. And I think what you're going to find out about Baker Mayfield is that there's multiple injuries to his shoulder, and that's a big time effect. Is it the offensive play calling? I definitely think it's a major question. And once again, you look at the numbers. I know that they were trying to run the ball. It was raining, but
I thought Grizzard had a good day tonight.
Yeah. I like the bootlegs. Yeah.
Very nice. He had him on the move a lot tonight, which I think has been missing. The touchdown to K. Dotton I thought was a great call. There were a bunch of good calls today. A tight end screen, a third down. He used K. Dotton really, really well today. I just, Mike Grizzard take is, look, he's been working with a lot of tough factors with the offensive line, a lot of injuries, working with a defensive head coach that's meddling in your playing, probably in your play calling. It's tough. And in the first year, I think if you're going to grade him, it's an incomplete.
All right, let's go out to Alex here. You're on the Sports Web in collaboration with the JP Peterson Show, live here from the red corner from Raymond James Stadium. Go ahead, my friend.
How are we doing this evening, boys?
Doing good, man. It's good to have a win. Talk about a win. Yeah, I mean, here's Todd Bowles, and it's going to be a little bit loud, so here we go. We got the job, baby! There you go. That's Todd Bowles.
Thank you.
There you go.
Well, hey, guys. Listen, I know an 8-9 is not what we were looking for this season. If you would have asked me in the beginning of the season that this is how the season would have ended, I would have laughed in your face. But, it is what it is. There's a lot to learn. I know there's a lot of people being critical on Mayfield and his interceptions towards the end of the season. But I'm going to be honest, and I'm not going to go into a debate about coaching and stuff, but the only thing I will say going forward is if the Bucs were to keep Todd going forward, if I'm the Glazers, something I've noticed during his time as a head coach is stop being such a player's coach. Stop being so nice. Listen, I don't think there's many NFL coaches that tell their entire team to pretty much go home at the bye and come back on a Wednesday X amount of days before we get going. And I just feel like that cockiness, and it's not really cockiness, but I just realized the lack of, keeping these guys prepared is a big reason why a midseason slump is a thing, why that became a thing. And unfortunately, this year was worse than most years because you lost some games and you lost your locker room many times this season. I mean, you had Mike Evans 3 weeks ago storming in the tunnel, 3rd and 28, 4th down. I mean, I just feel like, I guess what I'm saying is going forward, I don't hate Todd Bowles.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, there's many times I've defended him. But I guess what I would like to see is, I know the Glazers may not do this, but if I'm the Glazers, again, who am I though? But if I'm the Glazers, I think Todd Bowles is a great DC in my opinion. If I'm the Bucs and I'm the Glazers, I consider, maybe putting Todd Bowles to that vacant DC spot, have him coach his defense, focus on your defense, get a head coach in here, who can.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, Alex, I don't
be the person that Bowles is in, and
Alex, I'm kind of with you on this.
Thanks, Alex.
In a lot of ways, I would, if I were the Glazers, I'd try to maybe suggest a retirement, a very dignified retirement
to the front office, which we've heard some rumors of that. Do you
think
a
hell of a job,
right?
Which is time for a new voice, and it just really feels so much like 2001. Where this team is it's plateaued with Tony Dungy. Mm-hmm. It's plateaued with, and it just needs some juice. Right. It needs some juice. And, whatever that looks like.
You talked to Todd at the press conference here, JP Peterson. And again, we're on with JP.
I love the dude. And
right.
Talked
Do you get the sense that he feels like he's in trouble? He's under pressure?
No.
I mean, no.
You could never tell with him. He'd be the best poker player ever. You just never know with him. He's just, he's just even keeled. It's, it's a great strength of his. And it's probably one of his biggest weaknesses.
Yeah.
We say that all the time with great ones. Their strengths are often their biggest weaknesses. With Todd, his strength is being even keeled. His weakness is being no emotion. Yeah. no spark, no juice.
No juice.
But there have been successful coaches with that. But just the way this team has looked recently, it just seems like it's time.
All right, let's go out to the phone lines here. Trevor, turn your radio down or your phone down, my friend. Welcome to the Evolution collaboration with the JP Peterson Show. Go.
Hey, how you doing, Peter?
I'm doing good, buddy. It's absolutely clear. Yes, it's good.
Okay,
very good. Yes.
First of all, it was good seeing you earlier today.
Absolutely. Good seeing you and your son. It's always a good thing to corrupt your son, who's 14 years old, make him a nine-year as a Buck fan there. So that's what you need to do, Bucs fans. You need to get your kids on board with that so they don't turn into the opposing fans that are rooting against this Bucs team in the future. So good stuff there, Trevor. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, man. First of all, I just want to send a shout out to those Carolina Panther fans that was talking shit in Charlotte. Because, God, I was at the game in Charlotte, and, man, when I tell you they was talking straight shit, man, it felt good to return fire tonight. Yeah. I know it wasn't the prettiest win, but I've been to a lot of stadiums this year, and no one talked more shit in Carolina. So it felt good from that standpoint. It just felt good to talk shit. And the hotel I'm staying at right now, it's a bunch of Panther fans. I've been talking shit to them too. So
there you go. Nicely done.
I was like, what
the hell do they have to talk about?
Well, I have no idea, but this is, I think, JP, because you're on here, so you can't do the sound effect, but I got the sound effect. So here it is.
F you, F you, F you, and F you. Peace out.
Exactly.
I'm going to go have a Guinness.
That's exactly what you say to the Carolina Panther fans. Just like that.
And I told them this too, Peter. I was like, hey, even if the Falcons win and y'all make the playoffs tomorrow, I was like, this is us punching y'all in the nuts before y'all go to the playoffs. So
okay.
I will say this.
Yes.
And it's trending on Twitter. The Panthers OPI on Tet McMillan on Morrison.
That's an offensive pass interference. To me, they pushed them out of the way, and
not when you're coming off the line. The ball wasn't even in the air.
Right.
That is not.
It's a rookie. They called it on Mike Evans.
So hey, we got a call.
Yeah.
And then the other PI on K. Dotton.
Face guarding. He's face guarding. He's not even looking back. But what the refs are looking at, because and Trevor, appreciate the call, my friend. Anything else, he's face guarding, and they're going to call that every time. JP, the refs are going to call that.
No, when you get your feet tangled up and a guy goes down, that's not pass interference.
Yeah, but when you're face guarding, when you're trying to defend them, you're not looking back at the ball. You're looking at the player. They're going to call that every time. That's what I saw. But
whatever. We'll take it.
We'll take it.
You're going to get enough to go against you.
I'll say the biggest thing that we were able to do that we haven't been able to do in such a long time was we did a very good job against the run today. Had we done that in a couple of these other games that we played, we probably would have won more. You know what I mean?
That has been the downside, Trevor. We appreciate the call. Use the second one if you want to. Good seeing you again at What the Buck tailgates, and hopefully it's not the last time we see Bucs fans out there. But you talk about it. It was a key, and it's always the staple of a Todd Bowles defense, right, JP? You got to stop the run, and they were able to do that today. 19 rushing yards, lots of talent.
Elijah made a big difference, man, as I thought he would. He's a hell of a player.
Yeah, he is. He's a hell of a player. All right, well, let's go out to Corey there from Tennessee. Corey, welcome to the Evolution in collaboration with the JP Peterson Show after your Tampa Bay Buccaneers take care of business over the Carolina Panthers 16-14. Go ahead, my friend.
Whoa. First of all, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Secondly,
Merry New Year. Happy New Year.
Those guys, those are the 2025/2026 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Those ain't my Buccaneers. I don't know what that team has been for the last 6 weeks. I don't know who they are. They don't even know who they are. Today, Carolina's 8-9. They are who they are. We know that coming into the season. I think their ceiling might have been 9 wins. And They got the 8-9.
Right.
So good. We played like our ceiling was 8-9, and we played another 8-9 team, and now we're 8-9. We lost so much of our own destiny with these last few games, and I'm very disappointed in our inability to use our weapons. The rain, it's not just about today. It's not about today.
Right.
Because the weather was absolutely the rain was terrible. And it's just like it only happened when we had the ball too.
Were you in the stands today?
No. I'm
shout out to all you
comfy.
fans that maybe listening or watching this on your way home.
Yes.
You fans that showed up and stayed through the rain. There were a lot of them.
Yes.
Hats off. Hats off.
And absolutely, somebody has to tell Florida that it's not hurricane season in January, because that's what it felt like with the monsoon consistently there for the
crazy.
2.5 hours.
But okay, enough of the bad.
Yes.
Hey, JP, that was OPI. We watched Mike Evans' whole career. He has at least 7 of those called against him.
Yes, especially as a rookie.
Same exact motion,
down the field,
exact movement.
down the field,
he got
down the field when the ball's in the air. Yes, that has been called. The ball wasn't even in the air yet. It was within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage. He was getting off the jam. That is not OPI in any way, shape, or form. Come on. If the ball's in the air and it's down the field and you do that, that's OPI. But not when you're getting off the jam at the line of scrimmage. Let's just be real.
Okay, all right. Let's say the refs messed that up. No problem. Okay,
Yeah.
the refs messed that up.
All right.
But Carolina being an 8-9 team, being a team below 500, they really called a flea flick on the 20-yard line. so
That's what you
screw
get.
the refs. Screw the refs. But when your coach make a call like that, you don't want to win.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. In the rain, you call some foolishness like that, and you
get it.
deserve the fumble. But, in our fashion of this year, we get the ball, we make some great plays to get into scoring range, and then we get a field goal block. It's just like –
That's awful.
Oh,
Did you not see that coming? Did you not see that coming a mile away? I'm sitting up there going –
That's the problem. That's the problem. I did.
I'm sitting up there, and I'm in the press box, and I'm going – I look around at all of them like, this is getting blocked.
Yeah.
But you guys make a good point. JP, you made a good point before I go. You made a good point. I think we should reach a point, like the 2001 team. It would not surprise me, and I don't mean to be looking ahead, but it would not surprise me if this is a 13-win team next year.
I agree. I agree.
Or 12.
You just keep the offensive line healthy, and this is a 12-win team. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. But
no question.
That's my call, guys. Happy New Year, man. Go
Happy
Bucs.
New Year, brother. Good stuff.
I will never forgive the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for making me root for the New Orleans Saints twice in a month. I will never forgive them for this, by the way.
I know.
So anybody that y'all talk to in that locker room, please tell them that all of their fans that love them, spend their money on them, their time, their energy, will not forgive them for making us Saints fans 2 out of 4 weeks.
Well, listen,
It's disgusting.
you got to be a Saints fan tomorrow. So who that
Disgusting.
against the Atlanta Falcons, and if they can win that game tomorrow, you're NFC South champions for 5 times. It's disappointing we can't announce that here, but we got to wait. So Corey, appreciate the call.
All
Use
right.
the second one, my friend. Okay.
All right.
Yes, sir.
I'm tapping out.
All right, you're tapping out. Give me some final thoughts here, Mr. JP Peterson of the JP
Listen.
Peterson Show. Yes.
Regardless of how this turns out, whether they get in the playoffs or not, we need to have serious discussions about the future of this franchise. In the question, and the only question that is pertinent in this whole thing, and you can bring up all the different things that have happened, division championships, 500 records, whatever you're going to talk about with Todd Bowles is. The key question is he the guy to win a Super Bowl that can make you beat the better teams in this league, out-coach the better teams in this league in critical situations, and open it up enough and not be as conservative as he has been to win a championship. Conservative coaches don't win championships in the modern-day NFL. If you think do you really think he's the guy? I love him to death, and he's an incredible career.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. That's the question the Glazers have to answer.
And we'll see. We'll see here in the next couple of days. Listen, if the Bucs are eliminated, we got you covered any way it goes here live on Monday night at 9:00. Of course, listen to this guy every day,
10 to
Monday,
12.
10 to 12, every day.
Not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow, no.
I keep thinking it's Sunday, but it's
I
not.
do too. I do too. And it's not. It's Saturday.
Monday.
Yes.
You will be there on
Monday. He'll break it down.
Great job.
All right, man. Appreciate you as always.
TJ's
The great.
happening.
Yes, we got TJ
By the way,
Reeves.
Jim Deckerhoff, we love you.
Well, listen,
best.
you got to sit down and give me some thoughts on this because I had, and I'll send you some of that interview. I asked him about his moments, but he was talking about Florida State. I know that's near and dear to your heart,
Did he mention
JP.
the time that he almost killed me?
He did not. He mentioned Bobby Bowden, though. So go talk about your story with Gene Deckerhoff, how he almost killed you. Yes.
Many of you might not know this, but I worked side by side with Gene doing FSU basketball for 3 years back in the 90s when FSU just got in the ACC. So I went around on Tobacco Road with Gene Deckerhoff calling basketball games. I mean, you kidding me? It's one of the greatest times of my life.
Are you serious? This is with Pat Kennedy. This is with Charlie Ward. This is
Ward,
with
Bob Sura, Sam Cassell.
Wow.
Dougie Edwards.
Yes.
Rodney
Dobard.
What a great, and it was probably the greatest run ever but I mean, just being around Gene, traveling with him. We shared a room. Host Communications was so cheap that we shared a room. And I don't know if you know this, but Gene likes to smoke them.
Oh, he does.
He smokes a lot of them.
Oh,
so,
I didn't know that.
There was one night we were in Raleigh. No, we're playing at Duke the next day, Cameron Indoor. And we go back to the bar, this beautiful hotel, and, we're having a few beers. All the boosters are around. By the way, 50 years or whatever it is for Gene Decker, I never paid for a beer. I am absolutely sure of that, nor should he have, by the way. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, what am I, 20, 30 years younger than him, 20 years? I can't, I'm out. I can't keep up with the dude. He's just killing. He's a legend.
Wow.
Gene, he's got the whole bar. He's working the whole bar. So I'm like, hey, Gene, I got to go. So I go and I go to sleep for a while, and it's like 30 degrees outside.
Yeah.
And so the windows are all closed. So I go to sleep, and all of a sudden, it's about 2 hours later, all of a sudden I'm like, I wake up, and there's Gene sitting on the end of the bed watching some more movie from the 20s. Hey, check this out.
Hold on. Here's Gene.
Fire the cannon!
Yes.
JP, you got to look at it. That was in 1942. He's telling me about the Battle of the Bulge or some shit. And he's just sitting there in a towel. There's like a Jack Daniels on the bed and an ashtray that's full of about 3 packs of no filter Marlboros. And I can't even breathe. I jump up out of bed, like, trying to get the window open, and it won't open. And I'm contemplating breaking the glass.
Right.
Breaking the glass just to get a whiff of air.
Oh, my gosh.
He's, oh, sorry, man. It's a little smoky.
That's a great story right there, JP Peterson. You finished strong on that. I did not know that he was such a big smoker and such a big partier.
Oh, yeah.
A partier, too?
Oh, my God. Legend.
Gene Deckerhoff.
No, but on the road with Gino, it was the greatest experience of my life. And he's just simply the best. The best.
Absolutely.
Whatever you can say.
Simply the best. You're absolutely correct.
TJ's worked a few. See if TJ can top that story.
Exactly. All right. JP Peterson of the JP Peterson Show. Once again, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Tune in. We'll go out to the comments in just a moment. Actually, somebody was calling in, so I want to go out to them really quick. Let's go out to them. And then we will get the media icon, Mr. TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network, after your Tampa Bay Buccaneers take care of business. Andrew, welcome to the Evolution in collaboration with the JP Peterson Show, live from the red corner. Go ahead, my friend.
Bucs win. Bucs win.
Okay.
Bucs win.
Yes.
So, it's good, being a diehard Buccaneers fan since day one. Anytime a Buccaneers win, it's always put a smile on my face. There's always good feelings, stuff like that.
Right.
8-9 is disappointing from a 6-2 start. I figured they would be like 11-6 or 12-5. But like we said, it is what it is. They end off with a win. Good send off for the legendary Gene Deckerhoff. Good send off for the legendary Levante David.
Yes.
Good send off possibly for Mike Evans, and could be a good send off.
By the way, is there
see.
any doubt in your mind, and any Bucs fans that's saying they don't think he's a Hall of Famer after today's performance, after his performance that he's had throughout his career? Is there any doubt in your mind, Andrew, that Levante David is not a Hall of Fame linebacker? Yes or no?
Oh, no doubt in my mind he is. As a matter of fact, he's my first ballot Hall of Famer.
Right.
He'll be in the Hall of Fame in 5 years. No doubt about it. If he
Preach it.
retires this year.
Preach it. Keep preaching.
We got the media icon,
Absolutely,
Mr. TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network, coming on with us.
Keep
Go
going.
ahead. Yes.
Keep going, Andrew.
Yeah. But I want to say about this game right here is, they squeak it out, and I know they play with the elements with the rain. But my thing is the defense. Historically, this team has been, a defensive-minded team, And for them, again, to give up a big play on 4th down and 8, at the end of the game, when Bryce Young threw that 40-yard pass down the field, that was, pitiful, And they need to clamp down on the defense. They need playmakers of defense and stuff like that, And the offense was, conservative, and you figure they need a better offensive coordinator, this offseason and such to reignite that offense, no risk it, no biscuit lifestyle, and you figure if they have a good offensive line as well, then yeah, they could be 12-5 next year, and be probably competing for that number 1 spot in the NFC. But, it is what it is in the 89, but they enter off with a win. So go Bucs.
Yep, absolutely. Go Bucs. Appreciate it. He said go Bucs, so go Bucs.
Wait up, no, boy. Wait up.
Go Bucs.
Fire the cannon.
Go Bucs. Gotta love that. Again, we got the media icon, Mr. TJ Rees of the Buccaneer Radio Network. Not necessarily where you want to be, right? Media icon, but you're 8-9.
You won the game.
You still have an opportunity at the end of the day, and you gotta root for the Saints. I never thought we would be talking about that.
I am not in a white polyester suit with a disco ball. I'm not going to do the staying alive thing. I'm too wet.
Right.
I may dry out.
No John
Monday.
Travolta for you
no
tonight?
Travolta with the number 1 finger in the air on the disco floor, butterfly collar.
Stop touching the hair.
That's before your time.
No, I know about that,
Let's say a few things.
Yes,
First of all, do not apologize for wins.
Mhm.
On a Saturday night after getting soaking wet for 2.5 hours, do not apologize for wins. You found a way when you've not been able to find a way for the last month. All right. So the second thing, I heard this stuff about the officiating.
Yes.
So the Panthers have played with a rookie left tackle in both games with the Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
Probably have run conservatively 60 pass plays, maybe 70 in the 2 games.
Right.
Can we get a holding call on the left tackle who's grabbing Yaya Diaby or grabbing whomever on the right end? He grabbed Antoine Winfield on 1 blitz off the right end, tackling him. So I know the Panther fans are going crazy about the McMillan play at the line of scrimmage, but I mean, even it up some with a holding call here or there in the game. And in the end, it was not the officiating that mattered in this game. What mattered in this game is Carolina kept the game on by blocking the field goal. They got the 4th down pass, which I'm still sitting here an hour and a half later dumbfounded on. How do you not have deep safety help where McMillan can't get behind you for a 40-yard play?
Yes.
I think everybody's wondering that.
Reminiscent of Cooper Kupp all over again.
Amen.
A lot of people were saying that.
And then you have other heroic moments where Mayfield finds Cade Otton. I don't know if you've talked about this with JP. I don't know what Baker talked about on the podium. But on Buccaneers radio, I said, tell me about the play. He said it is a run-pass option. When I roll to the right, I have the option to run it on the bootleg. And he goes, but I felt like Cade Otton's a much better athlete than me. I'm going to get him the ball on a safe pass, which he did, to get the 1st down, which basically killed the clock because Carolina only had the 1 timeout left after the 2-minute warning.
Sure.
And you basically killed the clock. Enormous play. Because if you give them the ball with a minute or more left with a chance to go get the field goal, I mean, I work for the team, and I am as big an optimist as anybody.
Yes.
But in that scenario, how much confidence are you going to have that they're not going to go get 3 points? Maybe you block the kick. Maybe the kicker screws it up again, slips on the field like he did earlier in the game.
Right.
I don't know. So I'm just making some observations off the top of my head, but you come away with a win. And let's say this is the 50th season of the franchise. The Buccaneers have never made the playoffs in a circumstance like this before.
No.
Win a game and then have to have help the following day. They have made the playoffs before with win a game and have help the same day.
Right.
But never on the following day. We're going to go to bed tonight not knowing, are they in the playoffs?
Yes.
We're going to sit around for like 4 or 5 hours tomorrow starting at noon with the pregame show going, can they get a Saints win?
Yes.
Or, importantly, a tie will benefit the Bucs. Would it not be poetic justice, my friend?
Yes.
If the Saints-Falcons game ends like 6-6 in overtime for the Bucs to get into the playoff.
Yes.
Perfect poetic ending for the NFC South.
Yes.
Game is 9-9 after a 10-minute overtime period, and the Buccaneers get in because the Falcons have to be in the 3-way tie for Carolina to get it. A tie in the game tomorrow keeps them away from 8-9. It would make them 9-1.
Yeah.
So
it's been a crazy season.
Stay
And
tuned.
again, you start off at 6-2, you ended at 8-9. We talk about it. We continue to talk about him. He shows up at the most important times. That's Levante David
Oh, my
tying
Lord.
Derek Brooks
my Lord.
with the career tackle record in Tampa Bay Buccaneer history, which is tremendous. And then on top of it, and this goes out, I love you, Greek. I love you, Greek. I know you're a Chicago Bear fan, but you're going to love this, right? Levante David in elite company joining Hall of Famers Ray Lewis and Brian Urlacher as the only player since 1982 with 40 sacks and 35 takeaways. And once again, I don't know why you're running a flea flicker in the first place, but the guy makes a play, and that's Levante David. He's done that time and time again. When you need that play, you get it today.
Hall of Famer. And I know Luke Kuechly was in the radio booth for Carolina, right down, you can't see it, but right down there for this game tonight. He's now with Carolina Panthers radio. Kuechly is now a finalist for the Hall of Fame. He's one of the 15 guys that have made the finalist list. I don't know if he made it a year ago or if this is the first time that he's gotten through to be a finalist. And that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get there, because John Lynch had to wait a while. Rondé Barber had to wait a little bit. Tony Baselli had to wait a while before he got in for the Jaguars. But this is a key thing. If Kuechly gets in, he's a contemporary of Levante David. So there's the argument. And the fact that Levante has done it for much longer and won a Super Bowl, if Kuechly were to get in, there's a bigger argument for Levante David. I believe he will get in. He should be in. The longevity, playing at such a high level. Levante's going to be 36 years old in like another month.
Wow.
Does he look like a 36-year-old still running around out there?
He does not.
Incredible.
He still looks great.
So-
and listen, you interview him on a daily basis. You interviewed him tonight.
I interviewed him
Do
tonight.
you get the sense that this is the end of Levante David? Hope, again, knock on wood, that the Saints would win that game against the Falcons, and it wouldn't be the end. At least you have one more game. But if you don't, do you get the sense that he's done at this
Can
point?
I cop out and say I don't know?
Okay.
Because of this reason. Does he want to play? Yes. Can you physically go through what you have to go through to stay in shape and be ready to go through the rigors of July and August and get ready to play in a full season? Players will tell you, like the Phillip Rivers thing this year.
Yes.
If I can just show up and practice for a couple of days and play in a game, of course I'd love to play in a game. Tom Brady admitted this a couple of weeks ago. If it was as simple as come out and win a game this Sunday, you could do that.
Right.
But if you're trying to talk about playing for a team for the entire season and all the off season, what you have to go through in July and August, what you have to go through, that's the thing that concerns me. But nobody can speak for that guy.
No.
And don't doubt that guy. If he wants to come back for one more, don't doubt him. Let him come back for one more, and let's see what ends up happening here with 54. Back to the Dowdle play real quick.
Yes.
I'm right there. All right. So I have my angle as I look at the camera. I have my angle looking right at the flea flicker. I'm on about the 25-yard line. They're somewhere right in front of me when that play is being run. I knew it was a flea flicker because he turned to go to throw it and he slipped down. I could not believe when he got back up that he was still trying to flip it back to Bryce Young. Just total inexperience, and I'll say it, boneheaded play. You're in the plus territory, in scoring range. I think it's like a first down play. Am I right?
I believe
At
you're
the
right.
most, it's a second down play. You're going to live for another down at least.
At least.
What are you doing?
No idea.
You're playing bocce ball like the elderly play over in Pinellas County or down in South Florida. You're bowling.
It's background. It's
what are you doing?
It's backyard ball at that point, and I get it. He was frustrated all day long because this Bucs defense stepped up. You hold the Carolina Panthers to 19 rushing yards.
But the Panther fans want to talk about the McMillan, whether it was pass interference. How about the bonehead play by your running back to roll the ball back to Bryce Young, and it never gets there?
Makes no sense.
And Levante David is there to make the play.
On the spot, like always. TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network. I'm your host, Peter Blake. It's the Sports Web in collaboration with the JP Peterson Show. After your Tampa Bay Buccaneers take care of the Carolina Panthers 16-14 to end the season at 8-9. Other thoughts, Mr. TJ Reeves?
Let's say this. Baker Mayfield, absolute gamer. I heard you guys talking about the interception from earlier in the game. You've seen several of those down the stretch of the season. I'm not making any excuses for him. He's not 100%, but he's a lot better than what he was after that Rams game.
Agree.
At this point. A lot of conservative play calls, a lot of conservative run it a bunch throughout the games, the last 2 or 3 games in particular, going back to the Carolina road game and even in Miami last week. So it's kind of putting more pressure on the opportunities to make something happen in the pass game. Again, there's always going to be scrutiny on the quarterback, gets too much credit when they win, gets too much blame if they don't win. But what a gamer. Look at him running through tacklers again, risking his body again in this game 2 or 3 times.
Yes.
How much he wants to win.
Drawing the penalty on Jackson and it
right
being
in front of me.
And being a plan. What did you see? Because you're right there.
In front of me.
Yeah.
So he came to the sideline and Jackson was doing this the entire game in Charlotte and then running his mouth after the game. He's no Brett Favre. You know, that's what I told him. He's no Brett Favre. And he's out there again tonight. Yap, 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 yap. And if you're going to come taunt the quarterback, the star quarterback after the play in his building in a game, you're going to get flagged. And so you got Jackson off his game a little bit there, and you got him warned if you do that again, you're going to get ejected. So I had a ringside seat to that whole thing, and I think Baker is fueled by that. He really feeds off of it.
Todd Bowles talked about that.
Yes.
He talked about that in his press conference.
Classic. Don't get him more excited because he plays better when he's mad. Like you don't know the old school tennis reference. John McEnroe always got mad at the linesman of the cheer umpire, and he played better after that.
You can't be serious.
Everybody in the whole place saw chalk fly, and he's slamming the racket down, and then he would play better.
Yes.
Warren Sapp, to the positive, would always play better when he was angry or somebody made him mad or he could start the running conversation.
Yeah.
Mayfield's out of that same mold of get him fired up and he plays better. Seems to roll, seems to lock in. He wants to do some of that. So you found a way. You found a way tonight. I don't know what tomorrow is going to hold, but it's crazy. The last time this team was in this situation where they had won a game and needed help is 2010 Raheem Morris, where you won a game in the Superdome and we were flying back on the plane after beating the Saints, and the Chicago Bears had to beat Rodgers and the Packers at Lambeau Field in the afternoon game and did not beat them. And when that happened, the Bucs then lost the 3-way tiebreaker. You got to go back 15 years ago. That's the last one of these where you did not control your own destiny to get in. You needed help even on the that was the final day. You needed help and it didn't happen. And here it's another 16 hours from now before, or whatever, give or take, about 16, 17 hours from now before we find out what's going to happen here, whether that the Saints at least get a tie, if not a win, against Atlanta.
Talk about your broadcasting colleague here, Mr. Gene Deckerhoff. Got an opportunity to interview him. Just you sit there and you just listen to him talk. You don't talk. You ask a question. Let him go.
Gene,
because the guy just
held court tonight.
37 years.
Yes.
Your thoughts of him.
Several things that you need to know.
Okay.
The man is the soundtrack of the last 4 decades of Buccaneer football.
Correct.
He is, without question, a legend. He is so elite at being able to call the game and makes it seem so easy. And things come so naturally with how he describes what he's doing. And I have complimented him for 25 years on this is not an easy thing to call a game.
No.
And you are like Michael Jordan soaring through the air. And everybody sees that and thinks, oh, you could go out and soar through the air and play in the no.
Yeah.
You're not him.
Right.
Tiger Woods, with things he could do with a golf ball, spin the ball, stop the ball, hit it 280 yards out of a bunker onto the green, 8 feet from the hole. You're not him. Same thing with Gene calling the game. What an icon, a legend. You think about, I know you're a big Florida State guy.
Yeah.
You think about 43 years of calling everything important for Florida State. All the Heisman Trophy winners, all the national championships, all the All-Americans, 300 and whatever games for Bobby Bowden winning.
Peter Warrick, Charlie Ward, Chris Winkie.
All of them. Jameis Winston, all of them.
Derek
national
Brooks,
titles. Derek Brooks. Yes,
Yeah.
all of those moments.
Yes.
You think about that. Then you think about 37 years of Buccaneer football that includes the likes of Brooks and Sapp and Ulstadt and Lynch and on in the late 90s and the early 2000s when this thing turned around. And then you progress to the names Brady, David, Evans, Gronkowski, Winfield Jr., Vita Vea, and all these names in the 2000s and winning it. And Gene is the soundtrack for all of that. Legend, absolute legend. I was joking with a couple of people over the last couple of days. You do outstanding work. You hustle.
Thank you.
I work as hard as I can. We would love to be the Florida Sportscaster of the Year, wouldn't we?
Absolutely.
We would love to win that award, to be the Florida Sportscaster of the Year.
Yes.
Gene Deckerhoff won that 17 times. 17 times.
Hold on. Ready?
He's the yes, please do it. 17 time Florida Sportscaster of the Year. They should name the award the Deckerhoff.
Yes.
Or the Gene.
Yes.
One of the two.
Right.
Incredible. The stories I could sit here and tell for 2 hours like J.P. Peterson. I'll tell you a funny one. 1999 or 2000, one of those 2 years, training camp, Pepin Root Stadium, University of Tampa. Gene comes to practice to watch the Tony Dungy Buccaneers. I'm doing the morning show on the sports radio station 1010 The Team, the flagship station for the Buccaneers radio broadcast.
My first radio job, by the way. Yes.
So you know.
Yes.
So I'm there. I'm doing the live morning show. We're broadcasting from training camp. We interview players. We interview Dungy, Coach Dungy after the practice. Gene is there. Gene has a new cell phone. Gene has one of those flip cell phones that were new in the late 90s, all right? The ones that would flip open.
Right.
So Gene does not have it programmed yet. It's turned on, but he doesn't have his voicemail programmed. So I'm like, Gene, what are you doing? And he's like, I don't know how to use the voicemail. I can't get any of my messages. And so I'm like, give me the phone. Give me the flip phone. And I said, what is the passcode? And he gave me the passcode. It spelled Knowles or something. I don't know. He had a passcode.
Mm-hmm.
We got in the passcode, and I'm like, okay, record your greeting. You got to record your greeting.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, he then goes into radio mode. This is Gene Deckerhoff. Please leave a message as soon as you can, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. And he finishes.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, now you can press pound, and he does. And I'm like, okay, so now it accepted that. Now it'll let you check your messages. And he presses 7 or 3 or whatever you press.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got like 41 messages on his cell phone. Now, remember, this is the primitive days for me and Gene and for all of us of no text messaging. You could not text on a cell phone. You would have to call and you would have to leave a voicemail.
Right.
He literally has like 40. He's like, I've got 41 messages. So he starts playing the messages, hitting 1 to play the messages. And like 8 of them are his wife, Ann. Gene, why are you not picking up? Then another day, Monday, 3 o'clock. Gene, we need milk. Bring it home from the grocery store. It's his wife over and over and over again because he hasn't figured out how to set up the voicemail on the phone. The legend, Mean Gene.
He even said this at the press conference. We're on with TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network. I'm your host, Peter Blake of the Sports Web, in collaboration with the JP Peterson Show. He said that if you want a ringtone, I'll give you a ringtone. It should be a ringtone. He said, fire those cannons. He kept on saying that throughout the press conference.
So you could use it.
I already use it.
Fire the cannons!
And then we talked about up the gut for Alstott. He talked about,
what a moment
Alstott
that is.
up the gut and his favorite moments. Michael Spurlock.
Run,
Joe
Michael.
Jaravicious.
Run, Michael. Run, Michael. Run.
Yes.
Jaravicious. You go, Joe. You go, Joe. Back to Alstott up the gut.
Yes.
So that is the 1997 playoff game with the Detroit Lions.
I get knocked down, but I won't get. I won't get up again. Or get up again.
I'll get up again.
Yeah, Chumbawamba. By the way,
never going to keep me down.
Yes.
All right. So that moment, again, will live for such a long time because you had been so bad for so long, and that was like the stamp on the certification, on the validation of we are a playoff team and we're about to win this game.
Yep.
When Alstott cut back and Gene's yelling, Alstott up the gut to the 5, 3, 2, 1, touchdown Tampa Bay. The hair on the back of my neck is standing up right now because that finally represented you're not only in the playoffs, but you're going to win a playoff game in 1997.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, that was a run of about 5 or 6 years of tremendous football and eventually a Super Bowl. We're still in the midst now of another run of 5 or 6 years of playoffs, a Super Bowl in 2020, of playoffs and enjoying it. And I'm just thrilled for Gene at 80 years young that he has still been able to be part of this and call the games and call what happened tonight. And he got to say one more time tonight, Bucs win, Bucs win, Bucs win.
Love it.
At the end of this thing tonight. So here's hoping that we get one more game with him.
Yes.
Don't know that we will, but we send him out a winner in the regular season here at home with this. Again, it's amazing to contemplate that the man began calling Buccaneer games in 1989.
Yes.
1989. George Bush, the dad, is barely the president.
IT talked about Jesse the Body Ventura the first 2 years in Al Keck, and you talked about how Jesse the Body Ventura picked him up. How you doing, Nelson? Picked him up in the limousine.
And got him to the airport.
Got him to the airport. He talked
Jesse
about.
said, "Come ride with me."
He had a great story where he said that Jesse called Al a pencil neck geek
to the wrestling promo on it.
Wrestling, yes,
which is what they wanted,
right?
Back in those days, and again, it was just.
I have to put this in context for you. Like, I get it. Some of you fans haven't been around a long time, but in order to listen or watch Buccaneer football, you couldn't watch the home games because they were blacked out. So you had Gene Deckerhoff, you had David Logan, or you had Jesse the Body Ventura, or you had Scott Brantley, or Hardy Nickerson, or you had Dave Moore. You had to listen, especially back then, the beginning, because the Bucs weren't that good. So he was the voice.
You had there's no internet.
No.
And they did not have the Sunday ticket back in the 80s and the early 90s. And even with the Sunday ticket, they would black it out locally from the game being on. And so Gene was the soundtrack to be able to. I'm the same with you. I'm in the late 1980s, early 1990s, trying to get the latest with the Buccaneer games and the home games, and you had to listen to Gene.
Yeah, you had
to be able to get it.
You had to listen to him, and I made him feel old. I said, "Listen, I met you when I was 10 years old at the Bucs Fan Fest."
Yes,
and
this they used to do in the late 80s and the early 90s.
I believe
all
it
the
was
time.
37 years ago, which is crazy. So it was like his first or second year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that was the inspiration. Shook his hand. I wish I would have got a picture with him. But
let's say this.
Yes,
as genuine as the season is long, Gene Deckerhoff, Hall of Famer away from the mic.
Yeah.
I have watched him 1,000 times take time with people. We're walking down Bourbon Street trying to find a restaurant to go and eat because he wanted to go to this restaurant.
Yeah.
There were 2 different times somebody on the side of the road of Bourbon Street comes over to us. Gene, I just got to shake your hand. You're the greatest at calling the Florida State and Buccaneer games.
Mm-hmm.
We're walking on another block or two, and a guy comes out of the restaurant or the bar that saw us, I guess, through the window to come see Gene.
Yeah.
In New Orleans.
In New Orleans.
Yes.
In New Orleans. Yeah.
So it was just
highly respected.
It's a thrill. It's an honor to be around that, to be around greatness. The Dodger fans are always romantic about the late Vin Scully, who's the soundtrack of everything LA Dodgers and the Dodgers, the Brooklyn Dodgers before that.
Yeah.
You can go on and on about the great broadcasters in baseball or football that are synonymous with their team. Jack Buck, Joe Buck's dad.
They know how to paint a picture like a Picasso.
But it's almost like they're part of the family.
Yes.
Harry Carey calling the Cubs games. You
Yes.
hear Harry the Greek talking about that all the time, and he was the White Sox guy before that. But on and on. Brad Sham doing the Dallas Cowboys is the Gene Deckerhoff of the Dallas Cowboys, and Sham has been doing it for 43 years right now at the highest level for the Cowboys. These guys are iconic for a reason. It's amazing. And so here's hoping again that he gets one more game. We shall see. Anything else for a moment or two? Because I'm going to head on. I got to dry
Speaking of iconic, right here we got the media icon. Give me some final thoughts, Mr. TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network, my friend.
The reality now sets in that you've got to have help tomorrow. Hopefully the season will continue. Don't know. You got to have, again, you've never been in this position before to win a game the night before and have to have help the next day. You've been in the position where you've won a game earlier in the day, and then you've got to have help later in the day. And now that would be wild in the 50th year to get in. So let's see. This is the case with most every NFL team. No matter what, there are going to be changes, whether it's coaching staff, players that you lose to free agency, you draft new guys. Not everybody comes back. So it will be different in some form or fashion come next year, at least from a personnel standpoint. You can't keep everybody. You don't keep everybody from year to year anymore in the NFL. So that would be different, but I don't know that we're done. I mean, if New Orleans plays hard, plays well, and Kirk Cousins finds a way to screw it up and throw it to him a couple of times, you could be talking about the Buccaneers in the wild card round next weekend. and they will have won their way into the playoffs. I'm just going to put this out there. Carolina may end up being there. Atlanta may win the game tomorrow. They didn't win their way into anything. Seattle clocked them a week ago, and they lost here tonight. And the only fortunate thing for them is Atlanta continued to play hard at the end of the year and won a couple of games that didn't mean anything for them. This would be a third straight win for Atlanta that means nothing for them. They have been eliminated 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So Carolina in full throttle reverse to get in the playoffs if it happens for them. So maybe there'll be some poetic justice tomorrow with the Saints winning because the Bucs at least took care of this game tonight. Say what you want. It's not going to hang in an art gallery how you won this.
No.
It just matters that you won the game.
That's it. You had to win the game. It's tough to win in the National Football League. We've seen that the last couple of weeks.
Yes.
Nothing But Bucs podcast. Go ahead and promote
All right,
that.
so the Nothing But Bucs podcast will be out later in the weekend, Sunday night, Monday. We got to wait for the result of the Saints game to talk about what the future is and potentially a playoff game and who that opponent is, because that's not even decided yet. For Carolina or for the Buccaneers, it could be the Seahawks right now at this hour. It could be the 49ers. It could be the Rams.
Yeah.
That's the opponents. We got to wait for all that to play out. But anywhere you get podcast, Nothing But Bucs podcast. Again, Buccaneers mobile app, Buccaneers.com. It will be out off of this game. I'll have thoughts. I'll have Gene's highlights. If you want to hear more of Gene with the calls of the game, post-game interviews, etc., check it out. Nothing But Bucs.
Love it.
Is the podcast.
Love it right there, Mr. TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network. Yes, I gotta do this one. I know it's not the greatest, but
go away.
Yes, if you
go
are,
away, I will hold the door.
Here's the thing. You are still alive for the playoffs. Why? Because the team kept playing, and for those of us that want to root on the team to do well and succeed, they have succeeded.
But you're not taking it for granted to be a playoff team.
Correct. Would you rather be in Cleveland?
No, with Shedeur Sanders throwing all those interceptions.
Be in Las Vegas with the dysfunctional Raiders?
Well, let's talk to John Spytek about
Giants.
No,
Would you rather be with that?
No.
Tennessee Titans.
No, I'm
How
good.
are we feeling right about now?
Yeah.
Or you want to be talking about playoffs and trying to win a playoff game?
Playoffs.
My friend, keep up the great work tonight. Don't stay here too late. Don't make them evict you from this. The score is not going to change.
No, it's not.
Bucs 16, Carolina 14. I might dry out again by Monday. It was not a monsoon, but it was wet enough and a little cool. Bravo to the Buccaneer fans. I am going to say a strong 55 to 60,000 in the 65,000 seat Raymond James Stadium. It was full tonight. And they got rained on from the beginning of the game and stayed and got rewarded with a Buccaneer win. And let's see if it works out tomorrow. I'll say this in closing. Yaya Diaby, a former teammate of Tyler Shuck's, said, I'm going to be in touch with my guy Shuck about pull it out. One Louisville guy to another.
Yeah, we heard Levante David. He has some players he knows on that team, and Baker Mayfield may call the hotel with the Atlanta Falcons. I would not be surprised, and it's crazy to hear Baker Mayfield, try to root for the Saints, but that's where we're at right now.
Tristan Wirfs told me I cannot root for the Saints live on the interview, and I said, so just root for Atlanta to lose. He goes, deal. That makes sense. Root for Atlanta to lose. You're not rooting for the Saints. You're rooting for Atlanta to lose or for a tie.
Yes, that's
in the game. Listen, keep up the great work.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you.
Have a great night. This man's hustling. Hit the like button. Share it out. I know some of you are doing the super chat and the donations.
Yeah, $50 from Sun Devil Dave.
Do that for this man who is working hard and is here late at night. The cleaning staff has almost left.
Yes.
This evening.
Yes.
Don't stay too late.
I won't stay. I'll probably give it another 30 to 45 minutes. Give him a 2 hour.
The score is not going to change.
It's not.
The Saints-Falcons game does not kick off till tomorrow. No matter how much you stay here and talk tonight, it doesn't kick off till tomorrow.
But you're in Raymond James Stadium. You got to take advantage of it.
I understand.
Appreciate you.
Have a great night on the Sports Web.
Yes, sir.
Fans, hang in there.
Yes.
Whatever goes down, I'm sure you'll have a lot to say about it.
There we go. All right. Appreciate you. The media icon, Mr. TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network, recapping it, as always, giving us the 411. Again, Nothing But Bucs podcast. Check it out. And listen, I'll tell you this. I'll throw this out at you. We'll stay on for another 30 to 45 minutes. If the Saints win tomorrow, right after that game, we will go live on the Sports Web. We will give Buccaneer fans what they want. We will give them the phone calls, reaction right there if that happens. If that happens. If not, we'll be live on Monday night there for your victory. Let's go out to this. Victory Monday, whether it's the end of the season or not, we got you covered here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Let's go out to the phone lines. What's your name? Where you're calling from? I believe this is Brightside Broadway from North Carolina. Brightside, your Bucs won. What's on your mind tonight, man?
I'm so excited. My Bucs played their heart out tonight.
Yes.
And I love it. I love it. And I love Mr. Gene Decroft, and I love the fact that Gene made the games come alive for the people listening on the radio. And it's an honor and a privilege to be able to listen to Mr. Gene. He's a true legend.
Well, he is a true legend, and like I said, I got a great interview with him. Asked him some great questions, so watch for that. We'll post that on all the social media platforms. There had some great questions for him, and I definitely think you will enjoy that. What else, my friend?
What about the interception and awesome offense and awesome defense tonight? Yes,
well, I mean, again, this is what you talk about, right? Your defense has to step up, not only make stops, not only shut down the running game, but you get a big time interception from a rookie in Jacob Parrish, who was, a couple plays before that, had an opportunity to make a play, didn't make it. This time, jumps the route, backs off, jumps the route, makes the play, looking like Brian Kelly there in number 25. That's huge. And of course, the veteran stalwart in a Levante David making a play once again, where leaders have to make the plays. So again, this much maligned defense making plays, making stops. You take your hat off to them, because it could have been, easily giving up all kinds of plays and Bucs fans up in arms to get rid of this and get rid of that guy. But the defense showed up tonight. They shut down this Carolina Panther team.
Exactly. And I really believe, and I don't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm pulling for the Saints to win tomorrow.
Yes.
Because I don't want it to be over.
Yeah, well, I don't want it to be over either, my friend. But again, as always, the lifeblood of this show is the fans like you. Brightside Broadway, appreciate the time. As always, use that second call if you want to. Okay, my friend?
Let's go, Bucs, and fire the cannons.
I love it. Fire the cannons. We shall right there.
Fire the cannon!
Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. So we'll read these comments. Corey, I think you were trying to call. In fact, we'll try to give him a call back. He was out at the stadium today. And we'll read the rest of these comments, and then we'll get out of here for the night. And like I said, if something happens, Corey, welcome to the evolution, my friend. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, Peter?
What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Man, I was at the game. Me and my homeboy was at the game, man. Stayed in all that rain, man.
Yes, a lot of rain.
We pulled it out, man.
You did. You definitely. It was an important win by this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team. Not a pretty one, but a win is a win at the end of the day. Like Todd Bowles says,
we got the dub, baby.
You get the dub, and you're still in contention. Yes.
Peter, win or lose, man, we got to get rid of the offensive coordinator, man. He got to go.
Yeah, offensive coordinator's a little bit rough this year. Definitely. I think there could be some changes there, and that's a shame because, Baker Mayfield will have, I believe, his 9th offensive coordinator. You want to keep that continuity, but I think, again, questionable decisions, and we'll see what the Bucs do at this point because
right. I'm at the game, like it's like he like backwards or something. Like when it was raining, he tried to throw the ball, and when it would stop raining, he want to run the ball.
Yeah.
And when Baker throw that interception, I told my homeboy, I said, man, we keep throwing this wet ball in this rain, Baker go throw a pick, and I'll be doggone the next play he throw the pick, man.
Yeah, throws the pick, and then you question the decision at that point because it's raining. You're on your own end. It's not a good decision by Baker. He talked about this in the press conference. So once again, a questionable decision. I didn't like the fact where there's no urgency before the half, where you're just taking your time. You're not calling any timeouts. You're just going for the field goal at that point. They were
just going for the field goal.
Step on their necks at that point. Put them out of their misery.
We had plenty of opportunities, Peter, to put our foot on their neck, and we didn't do it, man.
Nope, you didn't do it.
We didn't do it. Just like after the sudden change, when you get a turnover, that sudden change, right?
Yeah.
Usually you supposed to go up top, take a shot play.
Yep.
we ain't take no shot plays tonight.
Well, I think that, again, the reason why you don't take those shot plays is because of the weather. It was a monsoon. I know they're playing in the same type of weather, but you didn't take those shot plays because there was opportunities. Even Todd Bowles talked about this in the press conference. So they may have wanted to take some shot plays, didn't have the look to do that. That comes down. But again, I think Rizard called a good game. I like the rollouts. We didn't see a lot of those rollouts. Special shout out to Scott Bradford of Bucs, because he told me, before the game, we don't see Baker rolling out. And look, Baker's dealing with injuries right now. So what you want to do is try to keep the pressure off of him. You roll him out, you move the pocket, you allow him to scan the field, make some plays, and that's what Baker was able to do today. What else?
I mean, the rollout good and bad, Peter, because it cut off out of the field, but it's good and bad. It's good and bad. It's good, but it worked tonight.
It works.
But like I say, Peter, we got to get rid of this coordinator, man. I don't care if we win the Super Bowl. He got to go. He's terrible.
All right, man. I appreciate it. I understand the concerns. Anything else here on the Evolution, my friend?
No, man. I'm glad we won, because I'd have been mad sitting out there in all that rain, man. Boy.
I agree. But good for you, man. Good for Bucs fans to stay out there, be true Bucs fans. All this talk about the week, how Bucs fans weren't going to show up because they wanted Todd Bowles fired, is malarkey, nonsense, lunacy, because Bucs fans like you show up every time. Appreciate you. As always, use that second call, my friend. All right?
All right. Thank you, Peter.
All right. Appreciate you, Corey. Let's go out to Trevor. Well, let's go out to Ed. Ed, welcome to the Evolution. Bucs win, finish off the season, but I don't think the season's finished. I haven't heard any bell at this point. We'll see what the Saints can do against the Falcons. 8-9, finishing off the Carolina Panthers 16-14. Your thoughts, my friend?
It's going to be real hard to cheer on the Saints. I hate them.
Well, you better cheer them on. You better get ready, my friend. You better become a Saints fan. You better go and eat some gumbo.
It's going to be real painful.
You better start saying who dat. What did TJ say? He talked to Tristan Wirfs. And what did he say? Well, I can't root for the Saints. Well, you can root for the Falcons to lose. So there you go. That's what you do.
Yeah, I could definitely root for the Falcons to lose. But
yes.
You know what? I liked how Baker played most of the game. I mean, he made some mistakes, but he played hard, man. He got swallowed up by the defensive line and somehow got out of it. It's just amazing some of the things he does. Yeah, there's only one other guy in the league that could play like him, and he ended up being a jerk off. He killed a bunch of dogs and he got kicked out. I'm not even gonna say his name, but anyways,
Michael Vick. Well, I don't think he's Michael Vick, but what he gives you is he'll scale. He'll put his shoulder down. He'll fire his team up. We always talk about it. The locker room, they will play for him. Fans wanting to get rid of him because he's had some rough times is ridiculous. This is your franchise quarterback because this team is playing for him. Now, is he dealing with some injuries? Is he dealing with some bad decision-making? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, I will go to war for Baker Mayfield, and certainly when you talk to these players on this team in the locker room, they will go to war for him too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, he played a hell of a game, though. I was really proud of him. He had no give up at him. It's like he's almost like back to normal from the beginning part of the season.
Right. Right.
I mean, he would get swallowed up. I didn't even see him in one of the plays. He got swallowed up, and then all of a sudden, bam, he pops out of there and he gets the ball off.
Yeah.
It was great. So yeah, I loved what I saw in the offense today. I would have liked to have seen them score more points. I mean, with this group of wide receivers, there's no reason why we're not, scoring 30 points a game. Really.
I agree.
mean, come on.
I agree, but I think the weather conditions definitely had something to do with it.
Maybe.
And I think the offensive line has played better. They've had their rough patches, so we'll see what happens at this point. You hope its season's not over. If it is, then some of these decisions about the staff, possibly Josh Grizzard, possibly special teams coach, will be made, and there'll be some changes at this point because again, you can't start out 6-2 and end off an 8-9. But again, to put it in perspective, you are in contention. You just got to root for the Saints tomorrow to beat the Falcons. What else, Ed?
It's very painful.
Yes.
Very, very painful.
Well,
but
get over
and as
it.
for Gene Duckerhoff,
yes,
I've been a USF fan. No, he's a Georgia. He was doing
FSU. Yes,
Florida.
FSU. Yes,
he was doing Florida, right?
Yeah, don't say Florida.
But
FSU.
I mean,
yes.
I when I was a USF fan when I played Florida, I really love listening to him. Plus, there was a time that, I would just turn the sound down on the TV and put Gene on,
right?
And listen to him. So yeah, he's definitely needs to win some awards, and so do you, my friend. You work hard too. So hopefully someday you can make some, make some awards for yourself.
Listen, the award enough is to cover the Tampa Bay Buccaneers every year. The award enough is it's to be allowed with historical figures like a Gene Deckerhoff to get an opportunity to interview a Levante David and to talk to a TJ Reeves and to talk to a Tristan Wirfs. That's the reward enough, and I get that opportunity. I love it, and it's fans like yourself who started out with me here on the Sports Web that make this possible. So I appreciate you as always, Ed. Anything else?
Yeah, one more thing. Special teams, man.
yeah. It's
every week. It's the special teams.
Yeah, it's been bad, man. It's been really bad. Yeah, it's been bad. But we'll see what they do. Another block kick. It has not worked out. Whether it's block kicks, whether it's block punts, whether it's poor kickoff coverage. There needs to be some changes at this point, and you know what I'm talking about, Ed. Appreciate the call as always. All right.
Take care, buddy. Happy New Year.
All right, man. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. The Bucs are 1-0 in 2026. How about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers at this point? Open phone line 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. We'll read the comments. Again, Facebook stars are open. If you like the content, give to the content. I appreciate you. You're joining me today at What the Buck, a soggy mess as it was cut off. We had to cut that off because we didn't want to get the equipment wet, and then we didn't do it again here at the field. We're usually live on the field. We're not taking any chances. We're not taking any chances with the equipment. Protect the equipment. We appreciate the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for giving us the opportunity here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television in collaboration with the JP Peterson Show, being here live from, as I call it, the red corner. We did USF stuff here. Now we're doing Bucs stuff here. All right, let's read the comments. Evening, Peter and crew. It was ugly, but we got the dub. Have to wait. Go Bucs. Absolutely. Parrish, just got to make the dance. LFG Bucs. Absolutely.
Fire the cannon.
We shall fire the cannons, Gene, right there. Live to fight another day, possibly. Sitting says go Bucs all day long. Love it. Gotta love it. Todd Bowles.
We got the dub, baby.
I think Todd is excited.
It's exciting.
It is exciting. Absolutely. Let's go out to Sheila. Oh, Sheila. Nail biter game, but I still have all my nails. That's a good thing. Even on my toes. Good job, Bucs. Holding on. I love that. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. As always, let's go out to David. Sloppy game, but I'm glad we won. So fire those cannons.
Fire the cannon.
There we go. Let's go out to Brandon. Great to see you, Peter. Hope you have a great day, even though it's raining. We did have a great day, and we're not going to allow the rain to dictate the evolution of sports talk television, because you know me, whether it's a football field, a phone booth, or in the press box, we got you covered right here on the evolution of sports talk television. Let's go out to Michael Hulk, the Hulk of the Sports Web. Crucial win. Tearing the Aints, LFG. Baker needs to stop throwing interceptions, often with a couple big catches, or Otten with some big catches. Definitely stepped up tonight. His first touchdown of the year. I know that's hard to believe. And also, I don't think he was out of bounds either. Win is a win. Let's go out to Nick. Never easy. Always the edge of your seat. It's a W. Hope it's not too late. Have to say it, but go Saints. Yeah, say it. Let's go out to the Hulk right there. Only can be on here for a little bit tonight. Love seeing Harry and you last week at TJ's. We are home now. LFG, of course, Tampa Joe's right there. If we get an opportunity, maybe we'll be there. 9316 Anderson Road in Tampa. Let's go out to Mr.
Damn it, Jim, what the hell?
There we go. Sun Devil Dave, not Jim. I know Jim's going to call in just a little bit. Sun Devil Dave, welcome to the Evolution. Appreciate the YouTube super chat of $50. Bucs fans, webheads, follow suit. Appreciate that. What's on your mind tonight after the Bucs win? Yes, thank you.
Just I missed some of the game because I went to my first Arizona State Colorado basketball game. I had to go watch Bobby Hurley and the boys, and they stunk up the joint. So I only got to see the last quarter.
Right.
But the good news is that the bottom line is these guys play with a lot of heart. They could have easily just rolled over and said, forget this, the season's over. And I kind of believe this is a reflection of the entire coaching staff to keep them pumped up and motivated. because you guys play with a lot of fire and heart.
Yeah.
And again, there's, they have to focus on, Saints have to try to win tomorrow, which is going to be crazy. We hope that it happens. But yeah, I was expecting, a good game, but they really showed a lot of fire. I mean, they went down to the line, down to the end. They had to make a couple of big stops, and then Carolina got the ball with 2 minutes. But again, hope things work out with them. They could make the playoffs. There's probably going to be some, obviously, coaching changes next year, roster changes as well.
Right.
But yeah, definitely Levante David is Hall of Famer. Mike Evans, if it's his last year, is Hall of Fame.
I don't sense it's Mike Evans last year. I do not sense that. I think, again, he's coming back from the injury. He has looked good when he's gotten the opportunity. Again, you have all these weapons, so you have to figure out how you give the opportunity, whether it's offensive play calling, whatever it is. But I still think Mike Evans will play a couple years, and he still has a couple years left in the tank. And that's the reason why you have to be excited as a Bucs fan, no matter what happens with this coaching change or coaching changes or whatever else. They still have the pieces here. They still have the talent, especially offensively.
Well, I think that if the weapons were healthy all year and without making these catches, that's a reflection of just how dangerous our receivers are. If you have a healthy Evans, Bucca, and Godwin and McMillan, those four people like Godwin are going to make plays because the defense is worried about those four guys.
Yeah.
And Mayfield took advantage of it. And I was hoping we would see more of that consistently throughout the season. If they were healthier, I think you would see it. And you see the running game, they had 170 yards and give the defense credit, 19 yards rushing for Carolina this today.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
19 yards rushing. Rico Dowdell, talented player coming in. Again, the much maligned defense is able. Yeah, at the fumble there, Levante David jumps on it, but you look at the numbers for rushing attack here, they were committed to it, and that's what you got to be when you're committed to the running game. 26 carries for 85 yards for Bucky Irving. Of course, Baker Mayfield, 4 carries for 31. Rashad White coming up as a free agent. We'll see what kind of decision they make there. 7 for 23. Yeah. I mean, that summed it up. You had balance to the game. It wasn't pretty, but sometimes it's got to be ugly. Sometimes you got to get a little dirty because it's raining out and you don't have the proper weather conditions. And this is what playoff football is all about. Playoff football is about playing defense, stopping the run, running the ball, trying to win that turnover battle, which the Bucs won that. So that's a good thing. But again, I
mean, hey, the rain was tough, but I mean, it's far better than going up to Chicago, New York, and playing 20 below with the wind chill.
Right.
And you got snow. So this is a lot easier to play than if you're up north. Tomorrow, I did see that Pitts and London and Mooney are questionable with knee issues.
We'll see.
Now, again, it's a meaningless game, but I hope that maybe all of them just sit out. And if that's the case, I think the Saints have a chance. But they have their two, Kamara and Olive is out.
Well, Kamara's he's been out all year long. I think he's washed up. Olave is a much bigger loss because 100 receptions there. He's their leading receiver, young wide receiver. Once again, another young wide receiver from Ohio State. Look, if you're a USF fan, you've got to be ecstatic to have Brian Hartline and what he's been able to do to develop those Ohio State wide receivers in Ibuka. Najigba right there for the Seattle Seahawks as you got the game going on right now and a nail biter for them. Seahawks
right now, 10-3.
Yeah, for the number 1 seed. So yes.
One other little note since you brought up USF. What do you think about Cam Brown? Call him Cam Brown going over to Auburn.
Byron Brown? I haven't heard anything at this point.
No, Cam. I thought they said that I call him Cam, but the quarterback was going to go over to Auburn.
Byron Brown.
I just saw it on ESPN.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that. I'll tell you what, we got to run, Sun Devil, but I appreciate
I'll let
the
you
time.
Go. Thank you for wasting my time. Goodbye forever. Have a great new year.
There you go, right there. That's how you end it off. Let's go out to Eric Moreno. Eric, welcome to the Evolution.
What's going on, Peter? I mean, it was a wet night, man. Win's a win, as you were saying. It doesn't have to be pretty. It's got to be ugly sometimes.
Yep. Yeah, well, it does. It definitely has to be ugly sometimes. And Bucs didn't play a Picasso, but a win is a win. We've seen it the other way. And you needed this win to stay in contention. You're able to do that. You're able to run the ball. You're able to win the turnover battle. Your defense is able to make some stops. You're able to, once again, create some turnovers, able to get some pressure. So I think there's a lot of positives here. Again, you're looking at the scoreboard. You should have more points. But again, you're playing in a monsoon. once again, somebody needs to tell Florida to turn off the shower, or turn off the hurricane, because it was a monsoon out there for the majority of the game, and that definitely plays a part in your offense, not being able to throw the ball down the field and a slippery ball and stuff like that. But once again, Bucs get the win.
Yeah, I was trying. I mean, I was trying to, get a little drier as the game went on, but that was, so having Mike Evans jersey on, so I don't know. Who would you rather play, the Niners or Seahawks, if the Bucs were to get in?
Both teams right now are tough, and the Bucs have beaten both teams, but they're different right now. San Francisco playing well with Brock Purdy coming back. He's definitely been able to. Christian McCaffrey, that's a challenge, and then of course you got Seattle, Sam Darnold. We talked about it in Jigba. There is a wide receiver, a shootout at the. That'd be tough. But you get that home game, at least you'll be in. I want to talk about playoff football. I don't know about you. I know a lot of people go, well, they're going to get blown out. Just get in. Let's see if they can get in at this point.
Yeah, let's see if it's over at 0,
Right.
White clean. Hey, one non-football question.
Yes.
Have you ever been to Hawaii, Peter?
No.
No? Okay. I'm going in March in like 9 weeks.
Well, man, you enjoy it. Take that vacation. Enjoy it, my friend. You hanging in there?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's probably the 1 year anniversary, but I'm just trying to keep it all in and,
All right. Well, your Bucs are 1-0 in the new year here. So head up, chest out, shoulders back, as they used to tell me in Marine Corps boot camp, and everything will be all right, my friend. Take that 45-inch step forward, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. All right. We got you covered here on the Sports Web. All right, hang in there.
All right, thank you, Peter.
All right, man.
Have a good night.
All right. I went back to my Marine Corps boot camp days. How about that? All right, this is another reason why I hate Todd. Has me rooting for the Saints tomorrow. Let's go Bucs. Let's go Bucs.
Fire the cannon!
Let's go out to David. Who else muted the TV and just listens to Gene? I mean, I think there's a lot of people who did that.
Fire the cannon!
There we go. Who dat? Get rid of Todd, says Van House Life. Anwar says, I don't think the Saints will beat the Falcons tomorrow. We'll see. Let's all stay positive here. I know I'm the eternal optimist, homer, if you will, but let's stay positive. Let's hope for a win tomorrow. How about that? Fans leaving the stadium were yelling, who dat in the turnstile. Blake Anthony, offensive averaging only 1 touchdown a game. Yeah, not going to get done. Not great. We got the win. Van House Life, we got the sense that it's the last time you see Todd Bowles. We'll see. Blake Anthony, I'm close with David's camp. That I know that. Love Levante David. Got a chance to interview him this year. It was a great interview, and asked him, and I'll post it back up, if he's a Hall of Famer. I think unequivocally he is a Hall of Famer with the numbers he's being able to put up. 6 tackles today, once again, all over the field, tying Derek Brooks' all-time tackles in Tampa Bay Buccaneer history. Just amazing. Let's see. Unless you want to go 9-8 in 2026, then by all means keep Todd Bowles. Mike says, Anwar, stop that. I have an idea. Sell the team. Not happening. Cole, David is amazing. Anwar, Michael Hulk, I want them to. I just don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to be able to stop the running back. That would be a tough matchup there with Mr. Bijan Robinson. Special teams sucked again. Beautiful mother right there. By the way, special shout out to my mother, because listen, when Dad had to work, and Dad was a big time influence on what I'm doing right now, and I think he'd be proud. I know he would shake his head sometimes because the sound doesn't always match up, everything like that. Love you, Dad. But when Dad wasn't there, Mom was able to stand in. Mom took me to Bucs Fan Fest. That's Bucs Fan Fest, because they had to have that at the time because the Bucs were not good and they were trying to draw fans. And I got a chance to meet at 10 years old the great Gene Deckerhoff. So, Mom, I love you. Thank you very much for that. Let's go out to Sun Devil right there, $50 super chat. Love that. Super chats are open. YouTube super chats, Facebook stars right there. Let's go out to Ed Kirby, LFG Bucks. Love that. So let's give him some Baker.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Give me some Todd.
We got the dub, baby.
You did. Absolutely. Let's go out to Michael Sandronago, 100%. As she says, watching the best sports talk show in the Tampa Bay area, the Sports Web, JP Peterson. Go Buccaneers, win. Let's go Saints. so we can get in the playoffs. Mom has got the right idea. You got to love that, Mom.
Fire the cannon!
Let's go out to Mr. Ed Kirby. Greetings, Master Peter H. Blake. I'm glad you're on tonight. Of course, I would not miss this opportunity to be on with you. Once again, whether we're in the press box or on the field, we got you covered on the evolution of sports talk television. Once again, in collaboration with the JP Peterson Show. He joined us earlier, had to go back to Orlando. Hopefully he gets there safe because the traffic is probably just awful. I know this, and most likely we'll get off of here and go drive some Uber tonight. And hopefully the weather's a lot better. Couldn't we have thrown it at least once up in the air in the end zone to Evans? Did we only pass one time on first down all game? It certainly seemed like it. Sun Devil Dave, Saints have Kamara and Olave out, but Pitts, London, and Mooney are questionable, all with knee issues, so maybe they're all sit out in the meaningless final. Let's go out to Chris Cole. Coaching staff changes coming next season, and I'm not saying Bulls will be fired, but he's going to have to make some defensive and offensive staff changes. I definitely think that's certainly possible with all the reports, and then just look at the results on the field, not necessarily what you want, especially after the bye week. It's been horrific. We'll put it out there. Jeff says, happy to stay alive with the win, but it still looks so hard for all phases for this team. Could have put the game away early, got bailed out by some bad calls by the refs. Again, happy to win, but doesn't look like much has improved vastly. Thought we were going to lose again when the kick got blocked. Joe Lynn, refs help us today for sure, but I don't think Saints win. David says, if it's going to cost Baker money, or is it going to cost us a quarterback not wanting to pay him? Go somewhere else. I hope not. Let's go out to Michael. He loves that button, JP. Watch out. I do. He doesn't like my sound effects because they're a little bit loud sometimes. That's all right. Well, we got them. That's what we do here on the Sports Web. The team needs a major overhaul staff to roster. Not sure what you're watching. Bucs basement. No team would go past happy with that weather today. Agree. We have seen bad division with bad football, and we don't want it anymore. The rebuild could make the win-loss stat worse, but the last 10-11 games have been abysmal. Injury scheme to efforts. David Goggins, okay. I don't know what some of these comments are, so I'm not going to read them. Too many old farts on the defensive coaching staff. I think it was 50-year mark, and the moves weren't made to make a real playoff run. Let's go out to David here. Say we did get a new head coach and a new defensive coordinator. Do you want a 4-3 or 3-4 coordinator? You know, it's tough to change coordinators and change defensive systems because you got to get the personnel. I like to keep the defensive system, of course, a lot better because you have those defensive pieces. It's always tough. So I guess to answer your question, you like to keep a 3-4 defense because that's what you got. Because if you make that change, then you're going to have to get guys that are going to be able to fit your system. And I'm not in favor of a rebuild. I'm in favor of a retool. Maybe you have to fire some coaches, some offensive, coordinators, something along those lines. We'll see. But I'm not in favor of a complete rebuild where you fire Todd Bowles and fire Jason Light because I've seen that impact before. Just good teams don't do that. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they had 3 coaches in the last 60 years. Okay, say whatever you want to about the Steelers, but they're one of the greatest organizations. Why? Because you had the continuity. You look around the league, the teams that don't fire their coaches. Mike Tomlin coming into mind. A lot of people moan and groan, but he's been able to be consistent, keep them at a winning record. I know Bucs fans want more. I get that. But you got to keep it in perspective. If you go with the full rebuild where you fire Todd Bowles and you fire Jason Light, you don't know if you're going to be able to compete. You don't know what's going to happen at this point. What will happen, we'll see here in the next couple of days. I just don't want to do a full rebuild because that usually takes about 3 to 4 years to do that. And again, I know there's first-year coaches, but they're not changing their offensive and defensive systems overnight. You're not getting rid of players. You're not cleaning house like a lot of you Bucs fans want. Bittersweet win, says Mike D. Roche's. It looked and sounded like a full house, even with all the rain. It was a madhouse tonight. Dave says Baker looked like Baker tonight. He played like Baker at the start of the season. Let's go out to David. What our record says we are. Go Saints, says Mike D. Roche's. Who dat? Dirty Bird. Yes. Sean, I hate rooting for the Saints, but let's go DeMario Davis. There you go. I don't see that many wins with our huge roster moves. David, well, I guess we don't have to root for the Saints to win. I just got to root for the Falcons to lose. There you go. That's the spirit. Cole Fieldhouse, Maryland. I didn't have rooting for the Saints on my bingo card in 2026, but here we are, guys. Here we are. Happy for Gene, but also sad that he won't hear Fire the Cannons. You'll hear it on this show.
Fire the Cannons!
Eddie Moore is the best voice in the NFL. Congrats, Mean Gene. Absolutely. Once again, great interview with him. Ask him some tremendous questions. We'll get that up there as soon as possible so you guys can enjoy it. Just always love to talk to a guy like that who is an NFL legend when it comes to broadcasting. And once again, one of my inspirations when it comes to broadcasting in general for the sports web. Gene is the Harry Carey of football. Love that. Loved Harry Carey and the Cubs. Grew up as a Cubs fan just like you, Cole, before the Rays came to town. Did anyone mention all the botches by the officials today? Phantom whistles, rep with ponytail as suspects. Let's go out to David here. David and Evans both should be first ballot Hall of Famers. Absolutely. Levante David, Mike Evans. What can you say about both of those players? Some of the greatest Tampa Bay Buccaneers of all time, especially Levante David. So let's go out to Jeff. Go get Max Crosby, draft another edge, some young athletic linebackers. This defense can start looking different, especially with a better scheme. Let's go out to Kevin Clayton. But how is New Orleans going to beat Atlanta? And yes, Levante David is a Hall of Famer. If it all ends tomorrow, what changes need to be made for next year? This division isn't very strong, so not major fixes. Head coach getting the boot. Again, if you believe the reports out there, it certainly says that Todd Bowles is safe, but we'll see. Again, can't start out 6-2, end off at 8-9. You end off with the win, but definitely could be some changes. Kevin Clayton, appreciate you. There, Chuck in the background. What's going on, Chuck? How you doing? You want to get on? Want to get on real quick? All right, my friend. There you go. I appreciate you. See you next week. That's the attitude right there. Like the Bucs, jumped out, ran the ball successfully in the first drive. Wish they would have kept the run. Heavy rest of the game, especially with the weather. Baker threw one up. Tim says, fire the cannons.
Fire the cannons!
Let's go out to Mike. Most competitive, worst division in the NFL. David says, TJ, you preach it. I was yelling the whole game. When isn't there a left tackle holding? I mean, we saw it. It was egregious a couple of weeks ago. Hopefully nobody's hearing me in the press box, but that's how I felt when they held Yaya Diaby. Did the same thing tonight. No holding penalties. I don't know how that's possible. Let's go out to a YouTube super chat. Let's go out to Mike H, 1242 with $10 for a YouTube super chat. Love that. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Mike, what are the odds of the Falcons and the Saints, right? How about that? Game on. Grizzard's offense philosophy with long developed routes is terrible. And every wide receiver. Let's go out to Alex using your second call. Alex, welcome to the evolution. Welcome back to the evolution of Sports Talk Television as your Bucs
Yes,
move to 8.
sir.
Yes.
Let me start by saying this, man. Great work.
Thank you.
Appreciate your dedication.
Thank you.
Year in and year out. There's not many shows out there that bring it live, either on the field or at One Buck Place or at Ray J or wherever you're at, you know. So I appreciate your hard work and giving the fans out there the opportunity to talk about how we feel.
Yeah.
So anyway, listen. I don't know what the future's going to hold, my friend, but God, I can't believe I'm saying this. I want the Saints to win tomorrow.
Of course you do, because you don't want the season to end like that, because there is potential with this team. And at the end of the day, you got to get in.
There really is great potential, man. And you know, I know, listen, all sides of the ball struggled all season. It wasn't one single person. It wasn't just Baker. It wasn't just the defense, or it wasn't just special teams, which my God, special teams, my God, it's not hard to punt the ball, kick a field goal.
Right.
But listen, man, the reason why we all predicted a 12-5 or 11-win season is because this team is talented. It will just never. And maybe you can explain this to me on my way out. It will just never. I just don't understand how you start so strong.
Yeah.
You're missing a ton of key guys, and you get them all back, and you look worse than when you were banged up.
Because your offensive line isn't that good, because you're missing both of your left guards and you got backups. And I get it. A lot of people say, well, every team goes through injuries. Okay, maybe on the outside, maybe at running back, maybe even at quarterback, but at offensive line, we always talk about it. How do you build a team through the lines? And when you're missing both of your left guards, you have the reshuffling throughout the year. That took its toll, whether it was injuries, whether it was reshuffling, whether it was play calling. It was just a mix. And yes,
I want to add something too to what you said just now.
Yep.
I said 4 weeks ago on your show, Evan Klosky, who you tried to flag down on your show this morning.
I'm going to get him on. We already talked.
He's a great guy. He very well knows all his Tampa Bay sports. If you're not following him, go follow Tampa Bay, Evan Klosky. Great stuff. But he put out a video a few weeks ago after one of the games. I don't remember which game it was, but I told you about this.
Mm-hmm.
The Bucs play calling really isn't that bad. It's really not. Listen, there's got to be a point that we don't put this all on coaching, but we put this on your GM because you just don't have the talent to cover certain plays. One of the plays that was in his video, just a real quick, brief discussion, I'll get out of here. One of his plays that he showed on his video is a one-on-one man coverage, perfectly well executed. Jamel Dean is covering the play, but on the opposite side, I don't remember who was on that right side. I think it was Taylor McMillan. But he gets burnt. And you just have to think about it that we don't have the talent to execute the plays that should be able to work.
I think and to answer your question.
So what I'm saying is there's got to be a moment after we keep, losing with this kind of talent that we have, is just that I'm not going to say it's not coaching because I think it is coaching, but you eventually Jason Light is going to have to take some heat here because you're not getting the talent used, especially at the deadline. Either A, you didn't think, three things. Either A, there truly was, nothing out there to get at a cost that you didn't want to pay.
Right. 2,
you gave up on the season, or 3, you just don't know what you're doing. And I don't know, but
I'll let you know here.
I agree with his play calling. I think Todd Bowles can be a pretty good, damn good DC, but I just don't think the talent is there. I want him back as our DC. I just don't think he's head coach. I don't think he's head coach material. That's my opinion.
All right, Alex. I appreciate the call, my friend. I got to wrap this up, man.
Yeah, you're good. Thank you, Peter. Hey, guys, great work all season. Appreciate everyone's hard work. And as always, hopefully the Bucs win tonight, or not the Bucs. Hopefully the Saints win tomorrow. We'll have a little extra stuff. But as always, I'll be on the sports web throughout the week and appreciate all your hard work.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Appreciate you as always. Okay, we'll read the rest of these comments and then we'll get out of here for the night. David is way better than Luke in every way. Agree. David says if we make the playoffs, will Levante's tackles in the playoffs push him past Brooks? I don't believe so. I think once again, that is going to be, that's a regular season record, not a playoff record. Playoffs. Kuechly should have a first ballot Hall of Famer, and so should Levante, especially if Patrick Willis got in. TJC 22 first downs, 8 successful. 12 second down runs, 3 successful. So you're 11th for 34 in early down success. What are we doing as a play caller? I mean, again, questionable play calling, especially with running. I understand it. I get it. It was frustrating to watch it at points in the game. Absolutely. The flicker was the worst call Carolina could have called. Too much razzle-dazzle. Dave says, sucks that Ibuka didn't get a Rookie of the Year 1,000-yard season. 8-9 means losing record. If we make the playoffs, we'll be the second we make the playoffs on the worst division. Okay, but that's where you're at this point. That's what makes the game fun. The trash talking, James Flash Ludeman. The hardest part to think about is one loss that shouldn't have been a win could be the reason the Bucs don't win in the division, miss the playoffs. That's a tough pill to swallow. Agree with that. So many could have had those wins. Again, the schedule was set up for you, and you didn't take advantage of it. Now we need to push for Gene to get into the Hall of Fame. Agree with that.
Fire the cannon!
Mike D. Roche's right there. Will Gene Deckerhoff get a statue in front of Ray J? I don't know. David, if we make the playoffs, will Gene be calling the game? Great question. I think I believe so. I think they would bring him back. I don't think he would be done. No sound. I don't know what that was. Bring back the game was fixed. Alex says TJ disagree. Bucs are just lucky. AF laugh my Bucs do not deserve it either. Carolina deserves it way more. Carolina doesn't have nearly the talent the Bucs do. Mr. Gene made the Bucs come alive when I could not watch the Bucs games. He and the radio network are awesome, and Mr. Gene is a legend. I thank you, Mr. Gene, very much for letting me listen. Let's go out to Ed. We don't need fans like you, bro. All right, let's. I feel dirty watching this when that game was fixed. What were the field conditions? Looked a bit sloppy. They were. I got to give it to Bowles one thing. He would be a great poker player with a stoic look. Ed, I'm trying to call in. Appreciate the call before. Thank you, PB. Absolutely. Thank you. Right there. Yeah. Parrish from California. It's always good. I love the fact that people walk up to me at What the Buck and I know them and they tag me in pictures and they watch the evolution of sports talk television. It's just a beautiful thing. I can't describe it. Do you miss the live on the field? I kind of do, but I didn't want to get the equipment wet. So we got the weapons capitalized, I believe. Let's go out to Ernest Capu. Falcons beat the Saints. Kyle Nicole was a good win, but we had seen the effort like sooner. We wouldn't be in this situation. You agree with that? Saints 21, Falcons 37. Kyle, again, I don't think the coaching changes will be as big as people want. I think Bulls will be back next year. We'll probably get a new OC, definitely a new special teams coach. I would hire a DC to take some of the things off of Bulls' plate and help him look at the team overall. It's a fair assessment. I definitely think the injuries affected his play these last couple of games, but today he left on the field. Baker is a dog. Yes. And of course,
shake and bake. Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
All right, let's go out to Parrish. LFG PB Bucs win, make these playoffs, and who knows?
Fire the cannon.
Let's go out to Sun Devil Dave. Brown from USF will reunite with Golish at Auburn. That's Byram Brown. Everyone, Shadow is here. I believe from South Dakota. One day only. Who dat, says Jamie. 4-3 defense. Let's go out to Bella Bell. Peter, what the hell? What a hell of a game. Just got home. They must have won because I went, ha, ha, ha. Let's go. You ain't got to win. Come on, baby. Best show, period. Thank you very much. Appreciate you, Bella. All the top defenses in the league are 4-3. Are they? They're all 4-3 defenses. Keep light for another year, but it's not great. Jamie says, because Tomlin is a good coach, Bulls is not. Once again, thanks a lot to the super chat there from Mike. And the offensive scheme didn't hold up. Bucs need to be a run-first offense. They unleashed the 3 best wide receivers in the league. Joe Sway says 2-3 now working Bucs games. If I talk about work, you're going to answer my call. Miss Jet Sky, thank you very much for tuning in, as always. By the way, I'm centering myself. That was supposed to say, let's bucking go. And the Saints got to win. I know what you were saying, Bella. Thank you. Thank you, Peter. Absolutely. Thank you. I'll end the show as a final comment. Appreciate you and everyone. Always will love our Bucs. And LFG and Blake Anthony just got an update on David's retirement status. So there you go. Blake Anthony, once again, a Blake and Blake Sports. He has an update on it. We'll go out to Instagram Live. We won. Absolutely. Blake Anthony says, you're the man. You are the man. Buck and Pirate. NFL wants Bucs versus the Bucs. NFL wants Bucs in. Aints win tomorrow. Somebody said it's good not to see your faces. I don't know what you're doing at this point. Listen, are you coming on? Are you going to come on my show?
When the season officially ends.
Well, listen, I need the Sage of Tampa Bay to come on here real quick. All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you right there. Joe Bucs fan with Lee DeKemper, and, of course, the great Sage. Talk about Hall of Famers right there, Mr. Ira Kaufman. We'll get him back on the show here soon. And let's go out to Marcus Stanley. The game felt flexed. Not going to call in tonight, but on Monday, it is in sorts of web of the football web. It is after a Bucs game. So I'm sorry I can't talk baseball or hockey or all these other sports right now. I can give me an update. Looks like the Seattle Seahawks are taking care of business versus the San Francisco 49ers. It has not been a San Francisco treat. Seattle's winning 13-3. That is for the number 1 seed. Let me go out to Kim. Hi to you. Sweetheart, thanks a lot for tuning in. Phyllis Swift Miller tuned in. Tapper Bay with the fire. Of course, I'll be remiss. Fixed. What is this? Flexed? I said fixed. Okay. Really quick, I want to go out to this commercial spot because these guys take care of me, for a beard trim, for a fade, for a haircut. It's all about, you don't have to go far. It's Up the Block Barbershop. We'll play this commercial. We'll read the rest of the comments and we'll get out of here. But again, here's our sponsor, Up the Block Barbershop. Up the Block Barbershop. You don't have to go far. It's Up the Block Barbershop, 4946 Moog Road in Holiday, Florida. Whether it's a haircut, a beard trim, a fade, they got you covered. Go see my favorite barber, Ricky, and all the great barbers there at Up the Block Barbershop. Tell them the Rolex reporter, Peter Blake, sent you. Again, it's Up the Block Barbershop, 4946 Moog Road. Let's go out to the phone lines. Broadway, you're on the evolution of Sports Talk Television live here at Raymond James Stadium after your Bucs fall to 6-3. Go. And we're usually live on the field, but it was raining. We're not going to take that chance. And isn't it ironic, right? I'm going all Alanis Morissette on you that the last time the Bucs won here, they won 48-14, different circumstances, of course, but the laptop got wet. I had to pay $2,000 for a new laptop. Ain't doing that again. We're not doing that. We take some chances. Sometimes I'm a renegade when it comes to the show where I put it, but I ain't going out into that weather getting that wet again. So we'll recap this really quick. Bucs win 16-14 to end the season at 8-9. Now we all wait. We all become Saints fans tomorrow, and I'll throw this out there. Here it is, Bucs fans. If the Saints beat the Atlanta Falcons, we will go live at the end of the game for all your reaction, and then we will get you ready because we got you covered when it comes to playoff football. The first game here, and then, of course, if it's an away game after that, if the Bucs take care of business, because I'm looking into my crystal ball. Again, the eternal optimist. You get out to Tampa Joe's 9316 Anderson Road. Hopefully, we'll get out there in a couple of weeks because the Bucs will win in the first round, and they'll be on the road facing somebody. Who knows? But again, thanks a lot for tuning in. As always, like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. Facebook stars are open. YouTube Super Chats. Thanks to the great J.P. Peterson of the J.P. Peterson Show, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon, all the social media outlets starting on Monday. And, of course, TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network, the media icon, Nothing But Bucs podcast. As let's see here. Let's give an update. What do we got going on? It looks like the Seattle Seahawks are making a defensive play. They got the ball back, and it looks like they got control of this team. So we'll end it off right there. Bucs win. Again, we're waiting for it. We'll see what happens. Go Saints tomorrow. 3 things. You know them, you love them, you got to have them. Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And for fans of the Sports Web and the Tampa Bay sports fan, especially you Go Bucs fans, it's your time. Victory Sunday, victory Monday for your Tampa Bay Buccaneers as they take care of business over the Carolina Panthers 16-14. We'll see you soon on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. As we always say on this show, fire the cannon and Go Bucs.